Hello! This video is created for those preparing for the IELTS speaking test. There are two videos available, a self-test video where you can attempt the test on your own, and a video with answers provided. First, take the practice test, and then watch the answer video to compare your responses and study effectively. We wish you the best of luck with your IELTS exam preparation. Do you like texting? I don't really like texting that much because I find it difficult to get a good flow of ideas in a text message. I'm also a bit of a shy person, so sometimes if I'm not very close with a person, it can feel difficult to text them simply out of shyness. Do you prefer sending or receiving messages? I prefer receiving messages because, as I just mentioned, I'm a bit of a shy person, so starting conversation can be a bit hard for me. If my friend texts me first, then I can respond to them comfortably. But if I'm the first person to send a message, then I start to feel a bit shy and overthink what I'm saying, and usually just get a bit stressed about it. Have you ever received a confusing text message? Yes, I have received some confusing text messages, but those are usually for somebody else. I mean, it is meant for someone who used to have my phone number. So sometimes I will receive text messages asking me if I have heard from a certain person, but I don't even know a person with that name. And then I pretty much assume that this person either has the wrong phone number or is trying to contact somebody else who used to have my number. In what circumstances is making a phone call better than sending a text message? I think in some circumstances, calling can be better than sending a text message. For example, if you need to get some information very quickly, then a call can be a lot more convenient. Also, some people don't look at their text messages frequently. A call can be more efficient in this case. Okay, so the first time I talked in a foreign language, I was probably, I think, around 10 years old. And at that time, I was learning Spanish. I was in elementary school and I was with all of my classmates at the time. We had been learning Spanish for about a year at this point, and then our teacher wanted us to have some free talking time in Spanish. It was very scary because I was used to just speaking English and I wasn't sure of how to communicate my ideas well in Spanish. We talked about some basic things like our hobbies, our age, our names, and our hometown. At the time, I really enjoyed talking in Spanish because it was kind of a novelty. Spanish class in general was very fun and enjoyable, and most people felt that way about it. So I had a very positive experience the first time I spoke in a foreign language. At what age should children start learning a foreign language? I think children should start learning a foreign language as early as possible. However, I would like to stress that I believe children should learn a foreign language in a fun, enjoyable way. If the child approaches the language too academically, it can start to feel draining for them, and maybe they won't enjoy it as much. Children, especially younger children, can learn a language far more easily and naturally than older children due to their brain's plasticity. So, I believe that children should be learning foreign languages as early as possible, but they should be learning in a fun and enjoyable way. Which skill is more important, speaking or writing? I firmly believe that speaking is a much more important skill than writing. While writing might be a more valuable skill in terms of schoolwork or something like that, it is pretty easy nowadays to correct your writing. For example, if you need to type something in a foreign language, then you can simply change your word processing software language into that language, and it will correct your spelling and grammar mistakes. If you end up working in another language professionally, then maybe writing can be important. But I would still say that speaking is more important. There is no replacement for spontaneous speech, and speaking gives you a unique opportunity to connect with many different people. So, I think speaking is a lot more important than writing. Does a person still need to learn other languages if they are good at English? I think a person should still learn additional language, even if he or she is good at English. Firstly, it gives them more opportunities to communicate with people who do not speak English or their own native language. This is an invaluable opportunity to learn about a different culture and a different way of life. It can also be advantageous in business and just general life if someone wants to travel, for example. Not everybody speaks English, so I don't think people can just rely on learning English. Do you think minority languages will disappear? So, I don't think that minority languages will fully disappear. There are a lot of government programs in some countries which have minority languages to support these minority languages and promote them. A lot of minority languages also have their own kind of media network, so radio shows, TV programs, and things like that. I think where minority languages are supported, they will not disappear.